What's happening there? How you doing? You feeling okay? Yeah? You want to go over here? Let's go look around. Come on, let's go. Yeah, come on, let's go. Come on. Let's go over here and see if there's any squirrels or anything. Huh? Okay. Say hello. Say good morning. Hey, good morning, and it's just a lovely morning out here. I'm going to get a whole bunch done today, and I've got so much to do. But, sometimes, you kind of have to confront problems, and as a millwright, we take, like you other artists out there, we take things that other trades or people do, like, machinists or woodworkers and things like that. And we can take bits and pieces of some of their techniques and some of the things they do and increase our ability as metalworking artists. No matter how you want to label it, you can be a grand poobah metal artist if you want to. You can self-promote is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, now the boat anchor disease that machinists unfortunately get. They get the boat anchor disease, and sometimes it gets them kind of slow, and the boat anchor disease basically starts from people like Forrest, from that terrible forum. It's just terrible. Now, one example of a boat anchor is here. Not this axles and lathe. I bought this from machine tool dealer Yoder. This is the one that was on eBay, and actually the least expensive geared head lathe a couple of years ago. Now, what the boat anchor would be is this chuck. And, you look at those poor machinists bickering and stuff about things like this. And I've watched them for over 20 years. And in the last 10 years, they tried to be chuck jaw grinding experts. And there's a lot of different ways to grind chucks, but some smart guy, evidently, or a couple of people or something, spotted something on a film, on an old war promotion film for industry, and saw this device here being used to grind a chuck in a horizontal position, big chuck, on something like a vertical turret lathe using a red head internal grinding spindle, and not a small one either. Okay, so they grind these chucks as true as they can, these jaws, as true as they can at the factory, using whatever device that they use. And this is a device that one factory used, but nobody really knows who it is. So this truck was sold on eBay. It had about 30,000 some more run out. It was real typical. The jaws were splayed out like that. And I reground it, loaded the jaws with the device, reground it, and I've demonstrated it's running 1,000 or better on most things. And this is an old chuck. I did not rebuild it. I think it was just right about. I think that it was $225, and and free shipping. It was really quite low. And I looked at the pictures, I go, I bet you anything, these are light duty chucks, it's just been overused, and I bet a jaw grinding and reset the scroll, which I haven't done videos of yet, but I will. I've got another chuck like this that I want to totally rebuild. But anyway, so I got this chuck, I did videos, actually blew my my homemade phase converter out, the Gomer Pile 1, and these are nice people send this. American Rotary sent this ADX 15. That's it. Okay. So on the machinist forum would call this a boat anchor, and they did that for several years until some people from England or something got on there, and they had a method of drilling holes in the tips, and then you clamp on a ring. And that, excuse me, still got the juniper sage fires going. Takes my voice, takes my voice away. But that is actually those guys over there. I think there's some guy in England, or a couple of them are pretty darn clever, and that does work. It does. And the other method that I've seen that works, and usually grinder people do it, and the grinding chuck jaws on Suburban tool shows that method, which I think that method's fine for grinders, but go and check it out. I'm not going to get into it, but it too deep, but it does grind back the master jaws, so you can put a ring back in there, and then use your top jaws here. See, the master jaws would be ground back, and you grind these clamping on a ring, and that does work too. So, boat anchor. Okay, that's ridiculous. So we got that cleared up. Maybe, I don't know. You know, those people are pretty stubborn. Boat anchor. Okay. So let's go have a look at another boat anchor. Okay, now I'm going to put some of the rusted up photos of this boat anchor. And this was considered a boat anchor by probably all the machinists in the area here. The only thing that anyone wanted was the table off this. And the guy figured out that the table was worth quite a bit of money. And he wanted $1,000 for the table and $500 for the machine, and wouldn't separate. So that thing sat there because nobody wanted to buy it for the table, then have to deal with the rest of the machine. You pretty much have to pay him to keep it, you know. He's pretty but I got it out of him. But that was considered a boat anchor to a machinist. But as a millwright, I did some research and found what other trades do to clean up a machine like this. And it was the woodworkers that I found that really know how to remove rust off machines. Not machinists. No. Woodworkers know how to do it. And I could get into the reasons why, because I figured it out, but maybe some other time. So the woodworkers know how to fix that, so it's not a boat anchor. And then it had a terrible mechanical problem where the head was seized up on the bearings that glide there. And as a millwright, I was able to take care of that mechanical problem too. Okay, let's have a look at another boat anchor. Now, believe it or not, this is considered a boat anchor by machinists on the U.S. Internet Forum. If anything goes wrong with it and it doesn't turn when you push the button. But there's help. A millwright is on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mystery out of it and help this machinist boat anchor disease or syndrome and just take it away from them. You know, they just miserably failed with their forums and stuff like that, full of just plain nonsense. You know, you got the termite drive, and we got the short pants thing that seems to be on hold. But I'm going to explain to you exactly why and how things go wrong and how to fix them on this machine. It's not a boat anchor. The only really difficult machine that's a little more difficult is the ones that they made before 1960. This is called the module drive. And the ones they made before then, up the tube drives up to 1960. Then unusually, there's a mix. The company put out some motor generator drives along with the early tube drives. And I'm looking to get one of those early tube drives. The old moderator who knew what he was doing on that creepy forum, a guy named Peter Haas, he was an electrical engineer, had what's called a works in a drawer. And I remember a lot of things he was saying about those machines. And a good friend of mine has an example of the last year made in 1959. And the funny thing about that, it's never had a problem. It's really a low hours machine, but it's just had exquisite care. It looks like it's new, but it's got the same tubes in it. Now the tubes last a very long time, and it's like motorcycles. With motorcycles, the main problem with them is the loose nut behind the handlebars. Okay, I thought I would kind of point out this boat anchor syndrome and go to who, you know? I get it. I get it. You know, machinist, I worked as a machinist, you know, and it was a terrible thing being a millwright, having to put up with that nastiness. But I worked for years that way. But, you know, the Millwright thing kind of gives you more of an overview of things. And you just kind of have a calmer approach, you know. You don't get too excited. But you don't take any crap either. I mean, you've been around long enough that you're not going to take any crap, right? Right, you know. So, you know, it's just an easier going thing to be a millwright or just a metal artist, you know, which covers everything. I like to think myself as an artist in metal. Okay, so I think maybe I got this almost, you know, a handle on the boat anchor syndrome. And I'm going to go back over to the recovery yard and show you the machine that's still sitting on the weather out there. You know, the machinist, some reason, never wanted to pick it up. If it was in Alaska, it'd be being used, you know. I wanted to pick it up, but, you know, I just got my hands full. So really, if you look around, there's plenty to do as a millwright, metal artist, and stuff like that. So we'll pick up the pieces and clean up the mess that the machinists make. Okay.